There are huge distinctions between backpacking in the winter and backpacking in the summer. Most of them are fairly obvious, but there are some subtle distinctions that I'd like to discuss. So let's get into it. Backpacking in the summer, the pros and cons. Oh, and welcome to As a Crow Flies Hiking. One good thing about backpacking in the summer, especially in the Southeast, is great fishing. If you remember your rod and reel, which I didn't. So I can just only look at the fish. It's waving them. Yeah. Oh, another pro about backpacking in the summer is the creek crossings. Number one, the water is usually lower, and number two, it's not so stinking cold. Yeah, one con is there's really no need for a fire. I mean, it's hot, and why build a fire? Maybe to get the bugs away, but I like a fire. So in the summer, there's really no need for one. I guess you can, but there's something about being cold in front of the fire at a campsite. So yeah, I guess that's a con, not having a fire. One downside to backpacking in the summer is you got to carry a lot of water. So you have to filter it, which is one of my least favorite activities. It's not that bad, but it is kind of the downside of backpacking in the summer. You got to have a lot of water or else you'll get dehydrated. One good thing about backpacking in the summer is you don't wake up cold. Just got a down blanket, even wore my shorts. Yeah, this is a good pro about backpacking in the summer. You don't wake up freezing your tail off in the morning. I think I'll go back to bed. One of the downsides of backpacking in the summer is that you're hiking under a canopy and you don't get the views. For example, I'm in a place where I usually see a bunch of beautiful rock ledges and stuff, and you can kind of see them, but because of the canopy, you can't see them as well. Or if you're up on the vistas or the ridge lines, you can see for days. But with the canopy, it kind of blocks that out. You're just basically hiking in a green tunnel. At least the canopy gives you shade in the summer, but I really like hiking in the winter when I can just see for days and all the leaves are down on the ground. It's one of my favorite parts of backpacking. Another downside to backpacking in the summer is the trailheads are full. Yeah, take a look at this trailhead. There's lots of people in the summer kayaking, backpacking, hiking, climbing, everything else. Pros and cons. If you're social, you like to talk to people, but sometimes I go out to backpack so that I can get away from people. The downside of people is people leaving their fires going, leave no trace principles, thrown to the wind. People just leave mess everywhere. And so you got to be careful. Yeah, one pro about backpacking in the summer is your base weight or your pack weight. Not too much in there because I don't need that much. Don't need a cold sleeping bag that's high in insulation. Don't need a lot of layers. It's good. Low base weight means happy hiking. An interesting thing about backpacking in the summer is, for me personally, I don't really care to eat hot foods because it's already hot. And so I typically don't do as much cooking. I just eat just nasty junk food. For example, highly nutritional Scooby-Doo cinnamon snacks. That's what I forced myself to eat. Well, really that's what I've always eaten because I'm a junk food addict. Definitely one of the downsides of backpacking in the summer is the heat. It's not even noon and it's 80 degrees. Backpacking in the southeast in the summer is just a different kind of heat. The humidity, maybe 110%. I don't know exactly, but I'm standing here in front of a creek and I'm thinking, that might be my next option. My old body is just telling me, hey, it's hot, you need to sit down and rest. But we got miles to do. It is something in the southeast, the humidity is usually really high. And if you do a lot of miles in the summer, you're going to experience heat exhaustion because the sun's just sucking all the energy out of you. Still love it though. One of the subtle cons of backpacking in the summer, maybe just a pet peeve of mine, is melted candy. You want to take some chocolate or something, even a Snickers, fun size, it's gonna be a little melted. That's all right, it's still edible. Edible, yeah. It's all right. Another con about backpacking in the summer is that you stink even more than you do in the winter. Like right now, left armpit smells like toilet. Right armpit smells like garbage. So.
Oh, yeah, legit, it smells bad.
Dude, you stink worse than I do.
No chance, you smell like, oh dude, you smell like old shoes and butt. Definitely one pro about backpacking in the summer is you're probably not gonna get hypothermia. One of the scariest things to me, backpacking, getting hypothermia. I've been there to the edge of that one time, not fun at all. So summer, I think the chances, especially in the southeast, very, very, very low, maybe less than 1%. One other pro for backpacking in the summer, especially in the southeast, is you don't have to worry about layers. You don't have to have a mid layer and a top layer and a down layer and leggings and different types of socks. You just have one layer, t-shirt and shorts. You're good to go. So that's definitely a plus for me on the side of backpacking in the summer in the southeast. Another great thing about backpacking in the summer is you don't have to worry about freezing all your gear, like your water freezing up at night. It's basically room temperature or outside temperature. Or your Sawyer filter, the one that I keep, I don't have to keep it in my sleeping bag at night so that it won't freeze up and useless the next day. Or my batteries in my phone, they don't freeze up and lock up at night. So that is definitely a pro for backpacking in the summer. You don't have to worry about your gear freezing up. Oh, almost forgot. You don't have to worry about your canister freezing with your Isopro mixture. If you got one of those, if you're in the winter, it could freeze up below 32 degrees, but in the summer, you ain't gotta worry about that. Another con about backpacking in the summer is sunburn. Right now, the sun's beating down. Got my sunglasses on, but no face coverage, so gotta have sunscreen. If you don't, you will be destroyed, and I have done that several times in my past. My nose, my face, and it's not fun recovering from that for a week or so. Kind of a con, you do get the sun, so that's great in the summer, but gotta bring sunscreen. Another good thing about backpacking in the summer is swimming. Can't really do that in the winter, so I think I'll get in. Definitely a con for backpacking in the summer would have to be
bugs and snakes. Gnats everywhere. I've got my head on a swivel because so many times I miss snakes because they camouflage themselves so well out here. And so you have to be ultra aware of where you are and what's at your feet, because the last thing you want to be is in the backcountry somewhere and you get a poisonous snake bite. The bugs, the ticks, man, ticks, that's the worst. So yeah, I think that's a con to backpacking in the summer, but at least it's not cold.
Well, there are my pros and cons for backpacking in the summer. I hope that you know that this was all jokes and fun and games. I actually enjoy backpacking in the summer. When you live in Alabama, it's pretty much hot, maybe 9-10 months out of the year, so you have to get used to it. But I do enjoy hiking in other states where you can kind of see if you can acclimate to the colder weather. Anyway, hope you got something out of the video. If you did, maybe consider subscribing to the channel. But mostly I would ask that you comment below and let me know what I missed about backpacking in the summer. Maybe there's something that you like more that I missed, or that you don't like more that I missed. I'll see you next time on the next adventure of As a Crow Flies Hiking. Yeah, definitely a con for summer backpacking. Whippoorwills in the southeast.